Hello everyone, welcome to Back to School Night. This is Miss Orellana and I currently teach multimedia animation and AP Studio Art. Oopsie. Starting off with the tech issues already. Alrighty. Okay, so a little bit about me for those of you who don't know me. This is my 7th year here at Erie High School, and I have taught multiple art classes. So if some of you are like, hey, wait a second, you taught my son beginning drawing back in 2015. What are you doing teaching multimedia and animation and AP Studio Art? You are correct. I probably did. But I have taught a lot of the classes here at Erie High School. I kind of teach what is needed with a specialty in animation. And then also I really love ceramics. And then I also have a bachelor's degree in multimedia and design that specifically focuses on animation. So I can do a lot of stuff. So okay, back on track. A little bit about me. I use the honorific Mix, and the students would just call me Mix O because my last name is Orellana, and that's quite a mouthful. That last name is Filipina, Filipina Spaniard, but the Filipino way to say it is Orellana. And I have 2 degrees. My undergrad was from the Seattle Art Institute, and my master's in education is from Western State Colorado University. I currently have no human children. I would like to someday, but I have 2 fur babies, and their names are Henna the cat. She is extremely judgy. And I have Tima the dog, who is super sweet. And those are 2 pictures of me. the, the photo ID one on the bottom is a little crazy looking, but that's okay. And the top one is what I look like currently in my online classroom with my 2 classroom buddies who are our art classroom cardboard cutouts. All right, so content I teach. Here is my email and my WebEx, the standard under or last name underscore first name format. Email is definitely best way to reach me. I will sometimes check it on the weekend even. I try to disconnect on the weekend, but I do get notifications on my phone. So it depends on how my spoons are doing. I will probably respond to you as a parent if you email me. Again, this semester I am teaching multimedia animation and AP Studio Art. Here are what my 3 classrooms online look like currently. As you can see, I try to make them look all the same for myself. I use the same format across all 3. I have my do nows at the top. I kind of stopped using them. And then I have this how to use the apps tools underneath that. And then I have our assignment folders underneath that. And the way that students can use or can read the assignment folders is the units go in order of oldest to newest. The Friday assignments are at the top. I put a new one in there every day. And then there's the unit folders. So we're finished with Unit 1. We're into Unit 2 now. And within the folders, as you can see for the Friday folders, everything is organized by oldest at the top, newest at the bottom as well. So that's how students can read my courses. And then I do assign a due date to everything. So the students should be able to see when everything is due on the assignment itself too. Here is the infographic that can be found in our, not in our Schoology course, in our course offering book. I wanted to show this to you as parents that you could kind of get an idea of the fact, 1, that it exists, 2, what classes your students can take once they're done in our class. I believe animation is a 2nd level course on here. Multimedia was not added to this pie chart because for a little while it was part of the engineering pipeline, even though it was a visual arts class, or maybe it's a technical arts class. But I would say it's on the same level as computer graphics. So if you take computer graphics or if you take multimedia, it's perfectly fine if you get put in to an intermediate level digital art class because you're getting the same info, like as far as technology goes, as computer graphics. Um, and then I wanted to show this to you teachers as well because I wanted to bring to your attention, or not to you teachers, to you parents as well, because I wanted to bring your attention to the fact that we do have an AP Studio Art class and we also had advanced studio art classes. So your students who have very high passions for what they are currently doing have classes that they can continue on into and earn credit for, and specifically AP Studio Art, they can earn college credit for. All right, at this point, I would like you to scrub through the video. You can adjust the timeline until you see part 1, part 2, or part 3, depending on what class your student is taking. And I will tell you a little bit more about that class. Here is part 1 about AP Studio Art. AP Studio Art is our college level course in which your students will be creating a 15-piece art portfolio based on a theme of their choice. This theme is called a sustained investigation, and it should be something that's important to them that they can research most of the year. At this point, most of the AP kids have chosen their theme. Some of them are still struggling to pick one, and if they are, I would encourage you as parents to help them decide on a theme, kind of have those conversations with them about like what are things that are important to them, what are things that they like to learn about, what are things that they could make a difference in that, like they could research about, okay? The requirements for this is that they create 15 high quality finished pieces. They write an artist statement that is typically 2 to 8 paragraphs. Actually, it really depends. There's a character limit on it, but it can be pretty big. And my suggestion to students is that they have 10 to 15 high quality finished pieces. The students who have 15 really high quality finished pieces that like the skill level, they've really pushed themselves to highly render their drawings to show beautiful renderings of light and form and shadow. Like those people get the 4s and the 5s, which are the highest scores. If you do less than 10 high quality finished pieces, I have not seen those portfolios get the 4s and the 5s. So my suggestion is that students really push to get at least 10 of those finished pieces. You can do, in my opinion, up to 5 process pieces, which would be like showing sketches that they did in preparation for the high quality finished pieces, or in progress photos of them working on their high quality finished pieces that kind of capture the process that they used, which would have been their experimentation. Because a big aspect of the AP Studio Art portfolio is their research that they do or their experimentation that they do when learning a new medium. So that was all of that info for you. And then also, pretty soon now, within the next few weeks, we're going to be needing to sign up for the AP College Board portfolio itself, on the test itself. I suggest that if you are in the class, you do sign up to take the test. We have assistance to help pay for the fee. The fee is also not too terrible. I was raised like pretty much at the poverty line, so I do recognize that I think it was like $90 is not nothing, okay? But it is pretty cheap for a college credit. And if your student can get a 3, that is a college credit for the AP portfolio. And I believe that everyone can get a 3. I have had, I've taught this class for 2 years now. All of my students have gotten 3, 4, or 5. Multiple have gotten 4s and 5s, and those are the highest scores. 5 is the highest. Only one student in this time has gotten a 2. So that's pretty great record. I believe all of my students currently can get a 3. What you can do to help your student with AP Studio Art. You can really check in with them about their weekly and their bi-monthly assignments. These are the assignments that they're going to be responsible for in AP. They have one sketchbook page that they need to turn in every Friday. And that can be planning for their sustained investigation. That can be a personal sketchbook page that they made. It can be any mixture of the two, but they do need to turn in one sketchbook page every Friday. And then you can check in with them to see how they're doing on the progress for their finished artwork that is due every 2 weeks. They should have one new finished piece every 2 weeks. And that will go back and forth, like 1 2-week period, they will have a prompt for what that piece needs to be, and then the next 2-week period, it will be their choice. And all of the deadlines for those will be on Schoology, so you can check in with them about that. And please also encourage them to self-advocate, encourage them to ask questions of me, encourage them to ask for supplies they need, etc. All right, part 2 for a multimedia class is here. Multimedia, what is this class? A lot of different people have taught this class. How is the art department teaching it? I teach this class as your students will be learning about company branding, basic marketing techniques, and graphic design. And they will be creating an imaginary business for themselves, creating a brand for it, and then creating advertising materials for that business. So far, students have thought up a business idea and they've thought up logos. Here are 3 logo examples. I think these are all pretty fun, effective logos. They really got a good idea of what a logo is for, and they used the programs that we are using to make fun logos. And we're currently working on posters, advertisement posters. Next, we're going to do t-shirt design, a company pamphlet, a Wix or Weebly website, and then a video advertisement. And the programs we are currently using are either Photoshop on the iPad or Autodesk Sketchbook, which is an app on the iPad. The Autodesk Sketchbook app is extremely versatile and it is free. If we were in class on the computers, we would be using the Adobe Creative Suite to do all of these things. But I recognize that not everyone at home has those options, so we are using these apps. What you can do to help your students is mainly just encourage them to self-advocate and to ask questions via email or in class. And encourage them to check due dates on Schoology. And if you are absent as a family, like if you go on a vacation, please encourage them to check in with me about what they missed. A lot of them are doing fantastic about that. I am so impressed. And then, yeah, I would say really encourage them to ask questions in class, because there have been multiple times where I'll be like, all right, does that make sense to everyone? Do we have any questions about the program before I let you all leave for work time? And then there are no questions about the program. And that is a time where I can give them demos, and I ask them if they would like demos, and then they do not ask for the demo. And then I get some assignments that are not necessarily as high quality as they could be. So I would encourage them that if they have any questions about the program, to ask for a demo. And yes, and of course you can email me with any questions you have. If I make a mistake somewhere with grading, feel free to email me. I am only human, but I am happy to fix any mistakes. Part 3 for animation. Like I said earlier, I have an undergrad in animation, so I love this class. It's basically something that I have built for Erie High School from the ground up. So in this class, students are learning the 12 principles of animation as defined by Ollie Johnston and Frank Thomas, and they're creating 2D animations using various programs. If we were in person at the school, we would be using Adobe Animate, which is their current animation program that is similar to Adobe Flash but has a lot more new options. And sorry, I got distracted. And we will be focusing a bit on visual storytelling as well. So currently we have finished our bouncing ball assignment. I have 2 examples here that students have made that are actually both bouncing fruit, which is adorable. And we are starting on our walk cycle. And next we will do a character design unit with a little bit of world building where we'll start talking more about storytelling. And then the final unit for the class will be an animatic unit where we talk about visual elements when we do visual storytelling. And then students will be able to tell a story that they know or a story that they make up and make a storyboard for it, which we then time out using a video editing program and add music or voiceovers to it. And what you can do to help them as a parent is, again, help them self-advocate, help them or remind them to self-advocate, encourage them to ask questions if they need help with the program. Like, this is what I am here for, is to help them figure out the program. And I will often say, are there any questions about the program? And then they'll say no, and then they'll leave. And then there will obviously have been some struggles with the program. And I want them to know that they can email me with questions, or they can come to the WebEx and they can ask for a demo, just one-on-one. That's what I'm here for. So please encourage them to do that. Encourage them to check the due dates on Schoology, and also have them check what they've missed when they're absent. They've been pretty good about this, but it doesn't hurt. And remind them to check for the reflection questions on assignments. They've gotten better about that, but some of them forget. That's it for animation. In fact, that is it for my whole presentation. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful week.